Hey, what's up, everybody? Thanks so much for tuning in. Christian Brindle here, and I am back with somebody doing big time things in the insurance space. I have the pleasure today to be joined by Gary Culp with Cigna. Gary, thank you so much for being with us here today, and we're going to be talking about some really awesome things. To kind of start us off, Gary, give us a little bit of a background. What is your role in Cigna, and what does that entail, and what does your background in the industry look like?
Great. Christian, great to meet you and actually connect today, and appreciate the time actually to be able to, talk to the folks that are on the channel. So a couple things. So today I'm actually our Chief Distribution Officer at Cigna and responsible for our government programs. So think about anything having to do with government, our Medicare Advantage programs, prescription drug plans, our Medicare supplement and other supplemental programs as well. Surprisingly, I have over 25 years of industry experience. I've done commercial. I've also done Medicare from a national platform, been with three of the largest carriers across the nation, and spent a lot of time in distribution, but also a lot in strategy, product development, and network. So have a kind of extensive background in Medicare in particular, and have a passion for it. Honestly, I love the senior market. I think the senior market is one of the best markets to be in because we get to do things that are really creative that help people. The solutions that agents provide, that you provide in terms of helping people navigate care solutions and everything, to me is the reason why we're in business and the reason why I love my job, because I get to help people that actually are trying to navigate a complex healthcare system, a complex decision around what's the right option for them in terms of healthcare.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Gary, let's kind of jump right into maybe the 600-pound gorilla that everybody is kind of has on the top of their mind right now. So back in January, there was a large announcement of the Cigna Group divesting Cigna Healthcare's Medicare and Care Allies business. What can you share with the audience about that in particular?
Well, let me first share, I'm super excited, and all of you should be too. This is another step in terms of healthcare coming together with two large organizations making something bigger and more, stronger for consumers that are actually accessing healthcare. But specifically what was released earlier this year is that HCSC has actually announced that they were going to acquire certain elements of Cigna business. And that includes the Medicare Advantage business, the prescription drug business, our Care Allies, which is our provider systems that actually support providers, and all of our supplemental programs. So think of Medicare Supplement, the independent vision dental programs that Cigna offers as well. So that is actually targeted to close in first quarter of next year. What I would tell everyone kind of between now and close is that it is business as usual. There's no change in terms of what Cigna is doing, what HCSC is doing. In fact, we just completed our submissions of our 2025 bids to Medicare for the CMS bids for the Medicare Advantage programs, the prescription drug plans for 2025. So those products are already filed with CMS. They will be kind of released from CMS, and all of you will be getting them shortly. But it is another indication of where it's business as usual between the two organizations. Now, come post-close, because I know a lot of you probably have questions around, so what does this mean to me? Well, for today, nothing. It's business as usual. You do everything that you've been doing. But come post-close, so after that first quarter when we anticipate closing, that's when you'll kind of start getting more information from us. And trust me, we want to make sure that you have everything in your hands that's going to answer the questions that you have to make your business easier as you continue to work in terms of what we're going to be doing in terms of two organizations coming together.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's so important for agents to kind of have that understanding, right? That like it is business as usual for the time being. And, Cigna's still invested in making sure that there's support for agents, that the products are in line going forward and everything like that. And so I think that's great. And I appreciate you sharing that. 2025, I mean, AEP, this upcoming AEP in particular of 2024 going into 2025 is really starting to shape out to be very interesting, right? For everybody in the space with everything going on, all the new rules and regulations coming out. What can you share with us on Cigna's position on the CMS final rule that's come out this year?
Yeah, well, let me first start with the Medicare environment continues to change like year over year. And I referenced that I've been in this, business for over 25 years. And I would say that I started at a point in time where the Medicare Advantage plan in particular was in its infant stage. I mean, it was in a place where it was not available in all states, very limited in terms of states it was available in. Some were pilot programs. There was, single digit penetration, and it was really, a point in time where we were trying to change as an industry how Medicare could be delivered in terms of quality, outcomes, and performance in terms of how beneficiaries were accessing care. We've done a great job. As an industry, we're over 51% Medicare Advantage penetrated across the nation. So you think about the millions of Medicare beneficiaries that are on Medicare, and Medicare Advantage has been obviously one of their top picks, given that it's now the majority, if you will, at 51% being on Medicare Advantage. But I would also tell you, though, is that change is always going to happen, meaning that we're always looking for, as an industry, what can we do to improve how we're actually delivering programs, the efficiency of them, the quality and outcomes that they deliver, how their access to information, and help people navigate the complexities of healthcare, help eliminate some of the complexities and make it easier in terms of access and such. So the final rule is really just one of those examples. It's an example of where the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services have kind of put together some areas of where they think that we need to make some better improvements around the efficiencies of how healthcare is delivered. And what you'll see in terms of Cigna's position here is that, let me just be very clear up front, that we are very agent friendly, agency friendly. We see the value in terms of how consumers and beneficiaries are looking at healthcare and how a trusted agent can help them in terms of navigating that. With that and changes that are coming, we're also, our number one objective is to be compliant. So you'll see us do actions that are within the final rule that are keeping us compliant, making it so that, beneficiaries are getting what they need, and also the organizations we work with, whether it be, third-party marketers, field marketing organizations, FMOs, direct agents, whomever that is in terms of the distribution model itself, that we're actually, helping everyone stay compliant, as well as keeping beneficiaries informed, getting the right access to care, and helping them navigate overall health care. You'll also, if you're not already an agent of Cigna, I encourage you to, become an agent. Part of it is that, we have a portfolio of products I know we'll probably talk about in just a moment. So it gives you a suite to be able to present to your client, but also because then you can be in the loop in terms of communications that we're sharing, in terms of the changes that are going on in our industry, how we're reacting to them, how we can help you in terms of navigating them. And the final rule is one of those examples. We recently, when final rule was released, we were one of the first to actually communicate to the public in terms of our release to our agent partners around what the final rule kind of meant in the early read, but also we're very realistic to say, look, there's a lot to understand here. We need to understand how to make sure that we're digesting this correctly, that we're compliant, that we have the right operations that are set up to be able to support it, that we're communicating with all of you so that you get the information that you need in the way that you need it to make your business and make your business easier in terms of any changes that are kind of coming through. We took that communication actually one step further, and as we kind of, had updates and we're able to share our position around hierarchy and how we think this is going to happen and translate to you in the market, we released another communication recently. So I would say, becoming an agent of Cigna is one, because you have a product portfolio, you have a trusted source in an organization to be able to offer quality solutions to your clients. You also are looped into an organization that is very forefront in terms of thinking, making sure that we're applying the changes that are happening in the marketplace and helping you navigate those, that you have the tools, resources, knowledge in terms of how to do it as well.
Yeah. I think that communication is so important, I think, for everybody throughout the industry. You mentioned enrolling consumers into the best plan that's going to suit their needs, right? Do you feel like Cigna Healthcare has that portfolio that can kind of address the needs of really all customers?
We absolutely do. So I'm known for my analogies. So I'm going to give you one for just a moment. There's, like large car organizations that, have like several cars that they're offering. Because I love cars, so forgive me for a moment because I'm going to go on a tangent for about cars. But you think about consumers, it's like if I stepped onto a dealership lot and was going for a hybrid because I thought that was the most efficient, or an electric vehicle because it was the most cost effective for me, that may not be the right fit. Like I might need a minivan because I have a family and I've got all sorts of soccer balls and car seats and things where a minivan's a better fit. I might have a business where having a truck that I can actually, tow things or pull things around to help with my business might be better. Well, healthcare is very similar, and not to draw like conclusions that healthcare and automobiles are the same, but in terms of consumer choice, it is in the way that we all have individual needs. So Christian, what you need is different than what I might need. It may be where we live, it may be what our preferences are personally, it may be financial elements, and maybe access to specific providers in terms of network and everything. What Cigna's done is created what we call a no wrong door strategy, and meaning that it doesn't matter what door you come into Cigna, we've got a solution for you. So if you're looking for broad access to providers and you prefer to kind of make some of the decisions that you're making in healthcare directly and without some of the navigation help that might exist with like a primary care physician as an example, you may elect a Medicare supplement plan to go alongside your traditional Medicare, so that you have kind of the cost containment, you have the access to providers, which virtually you have access to the majority of providers in the U.S. because most are contracted with Medicare, not all, but most are, so it gives you kind of that broad access. Another example, though, might be that you're looking for a little bit more help in terms of navigating the complexities of healthcare. There might be some, medical reasons why you want to, stay within a certain group of providers. And a Medicare Advantage HMO might be the right fit, where you have a primary care physician that can help in terms of navigating those health, options that you need, as well as helping getting you the right kind of care. Bottom line is that we have a portfolio of Medicare Advantage that includes, HMO options, special need plan options, PPO options for broader access on a Medicare Advantage platform. We also have a Medicare supplement plan, as well as other supplemental programs that can help with hospital indemnity, dental, vision, things that can help in terms of covering other elements of your care that would be helpful. And then we have 3 standalone different prescription drug plans, so PDP plans to couple with traditional Medicare and or a Medicare supplement offering, if that's what you're looking for as well.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a very, very wide variety of items definitely in the portfolio, which is super helpful. I know you mentioned Medicare Advantage HMO plans and them having a bit of a holistic approach to the care. What makes Cigna's Medicare Advantage HMO plans different from some of the others you might see in the marketplace?
I am a tremendous fan of Medicare pre-scheduled appointments, and I'm going to tell you why. Usually with a lead. What a lead is, in my definition, is a person that's expressed vague interest in your product or service that you offer in some form or fashion. It could be someone filling out a landing page form. It could be someone filling out something on a Facebook ad or social media form. It could be somebody filling out a direct mail postcard and mailing it back into you. There's many different ways a lead could be captured. But to me, by definition, a lead is a person expressing vague interest in your product or service, okay? Now, people will say, well, someone called into my office yesterday and it was a referral, and that was more than vague interest. To me, that's not a lead. By definition, to me, that's a referral. That's a new client. That's a lay down. But when it comes to actual leads, there usually is vague interest because you're running an advertisement, and the advertisement doesn't always necessarily tell them everything they need to know to make an informed decision. And you need to essentially move that vague interest to enough interest to transact with you. That's where your salesmanship comes into play, okay? Now, the reason why I love a pre-scheduled appointment is because, to me, I think there's going to be different levels to this game, right? There's going to be different levels to the lead game, the referral game, the new client game. So, like, if, let's say, a cold call's here, the bottom of the totem pole, right? Like, it's as cold as ice. It's ice age, my friends. It's as low on this totem pole of interest and intent as it's going to get. I would say a lead is going to be here. Now, certain leads can vary, right? Some leads are higher intent than others, but at the end of the day, they're going to live in this section right here. I would put a pre-scheduled appointment here, and I'd put something incredibly warm like a referral here, right? So I'd say the pre-scheduled appointment is not going to be a situation where you're taking an order. It's not going to be a situation where you are essentially just signing somebody up and you're going to close 100% of them, but it is a better intent contact than a lead in and of itself, right? So there's plenty of services out there that do pre-scheduled appointments, and oftentimes, you look at their prices and it's like, whoa, Nelly. To me, there is no better pre-scheduled appointment in terms of price, intent, and value than the Lead Heroes pre-scheduled appointment, okay? Even before we merged with Lead Heroes, I was a customer of theirs for many years. And I assure you, I wasn't just buying these leads and these pre-scheduled appointments because I liked them. Of course, I did like them, but I wasn't doing it just because I liked them, right? I don't like anybody that much to where I'm going to keep spending money if something's not working properly, right, in my business. And so we have had super success with Lead Heroes leads, in particularly these new pre-scheduled appointments. How they work is essentially they are an opt-in, right? They're an opt-in that somebody has essentially agreed to be contacted, okay? So the person's already filled out a form stating they agreed to be contacted. One of the Lead Hero lead callers will make an outbound call to this person who agreed to be opt-in. There's permission to contact, okay? And they will talk to them, and essentially they will keep doing that until they find somebody that gives verbal consent over a recorded line to speak with an agent in their area, or maybe just an agent in general. These can be face-to-face, guys. These can be over the phone. Of course, face-to-face costs a little bit more because they cost a little bit more to generate. And they also run through a CMS-approved carrier scope of appointment script and capture a verbal script over the phone. They schedule it on your calendar 48 hours later, okay? So we did these in AEP before the merger as a customer, as a client agency, and we did fairly well with them, and I know tons of agents that did fairly well with them. It was a huge hot product, especially with the scope of appointment 48-hour rule coming back and taking effect October 1st of last year, 2023, right? So this is a solution to your scope of appointment 48-hour woes, okay? They capture the scope, they set it on your calendar 48 hours later, and boom, right? You can literally do a one-call application in this certain type of situation, okay? So I'm a big fan of pre-scheduled appointments. I'm a big fan of these presets. I feel like there is not anybody that comes close to the quality, to the value, and to the overall prices that are being offered right now through Lead Heroes, okay? I'm also making this video to let you know these pre-scheduled appointments are on sale right now. They're on a significant sale until the end of January. We're actually going to throw a link down in the description of this video. If you guys would like to see me do a training, maybe a 45-minute training, an hour-long training on actually how to work these, what script to use, and best practices to getting the best use and results out of your Lead Hero pre-scheduled appointments, let me know. Comment down in the comment section if you'd like to see me make and create that training for you, and we'll put it up for free on the YouTube channel for everybody to see. But if you're looking for lead flow, to really have a really dynamite and a banging OEP, Lead Hero pre-scheduled appointments are where it's at. You guys need to take advantage of this, and we have a monster sale going on until the end of the month. Remember, cold call, lead, preset, referral, right? So the preset is a higher quality than a lead. It's as good as it gets in terms of quality, and I think you guys are going to really be pleased with the results that you'll find with these pre-scheduled appointments. So make sure that you get your orders in. There's only 5,000 actual appointments that are available in this sale, and then there won't be any more. Why? Because the demand is so high that that's all that the staff is going to be able to keep up with, right? And so it's not going to last forever. Once the 5,000 are sold out, they're sold out, and we'll have to close it until a little bit more availability opens up. So get your orders in, pre-scheduled appointments. I'm all about them. Pre-scheduled appointments are where it's at for 2024. And yeah, guys, I hope this helps you out tremendously. I hope it helps you like it helped our business during AEP last year. It was a great lead source for us. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Like this video if you like it. Again, comment your thoughts on down below in this video. I want to interact with you. Let us know if you want me to create and film that training for you. No strings attached. It's essentially how to succeed with preset appointments, how to work on best practices, everything like that. Make sure to subscribe. We put out weekly videos. And thanks so much for watching, guys. Here's to your success and your abundance. And we'll see you next time. Thanks, guys.
You know, I think one of the core strengths of Cigna and part of our DNA actually is the way that we look at the care continuum for the customer. So you think about Medicare Advantage and, you know, for those that have been selling Cigna, one of the things that we've been promoting, you know, leading up to enrollment is the health risk assessment, or the HRA, as part of the onboarding for enrollment, so that agents can actually pull through information about their clients. The reason why we do this is because it gives us an early read even before a customer becomes a member, meaning that they're just now enrolling, but they haven't yet become active. So maybe they're enrolling during the annual enrollment period in the fall, but you know, it's October and you know, they don't start their new coverage until January 1st. We get that information early, and it allows us to help in terms of, you know, assigning and also, you know, helping guide those customers through different care elements. You know, they might be, because of their background, it might be something where it'd be helpful to get into a certain medical management type of program to actually help them in terms of navigating their care. The other thing I love about the HMO program is I kind of call it a warm hug, meaning that you're not just out there, you know, trying to, you know, fend for yourself in terms of healthcare. You have the benefit of a primary care doctor helping navigate and facilitate your care. You have the company of Cigna in terms of their, you know, service and their care management team as well in terms of navigating care, so that you're not alone. And many people, because of some of the complications that I kind of referenced earlier, find that very helpful. They find it where it gives them peace of mind in terms of knowing that they're not alone in trying to navigate healthcare. They know that they have someone behind them to help them. And at the end of the day, it also gives them kind of that leader, if you will, in the provider community with the primary care physician, helping them in terms of navigating their care overall.
Yeah. Yeah. Gary, I know that product and benefits is just a singular aspect, right, of you know, the Medicare kind of equation there. How does Cigna engage with their clients on the wellness programs?
You know, we have a host of wellness programs, and I think of things as simple as, you know, many of our Medicare Advantage plans have fitness programs in them. And, you know, one of the best ways to stay healthy is to stay active. And so to me, that's one of the easier kind of, you know, no or low cost items that are available in terms of, you know, staying healthy and well. The other is that our Medicare Advantage customers also have, you know, no cost for annual healthy checkups and making sure that you're tracking, you know, your overall health in general, and also identifying things early so that we can help in terms of preventing any potential longer term issues that could be a result of not really knowing kind of what might be, you know, some health issues that we could address early on. And things that may be easier to address when it's earlier on, maybe diet or possibly, you know, medication therapy, versus having to do things that are a little bit more invasive, you know, later as, you know, health conditions kind of, you know, maybe change over time. There's also several tactics that we use in terms of informing our customers, because, you know, back to the navigation, the use, and, you know, some of the complexities that kind of are part of the healthcare system. You know, we have, with our wellness programs, various, you know, email campaigns. You know, we've got text programs that are in place for wellness and screenings and reminders. There's also the ability where we leverage brokers oftentimes, where we're actually integrating some of the agents with local provider systems to interact with face-to-face communication around how to access care within a provider system, what wellness programs are available. You know, how Cigna programs can actually help you in terms of the services and everything that we're providing as well. So the main thing is we're trying not to overwhelm the population. We're trying to help the population with offering the services, the product, and also the access to care.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean it's so important. It's so important, but I think there is a fine line, right, on the right way to go about it and not overwhelming. I think that's great. I think that's great, and the kind of the method that Cigna's doing it. One thing I was kind of curious to ask about was on the PDP business. So last AEP, that was the first year that Cigna paid commissions, right, on their standalone PDP plans that you mentioned earlier. I know for me as an agency owner, that was something that was really exciting for us, that was an option for us to be able to offer. How did that go this past AEP?
It actually went really well. Our PDP and commissionable release actually exceeded our expectations. So we actually grew more than we anticipated. It was actually an efficient and positive program. So the feedback that we got from our agency partners and agents was very positive. We were, really responding to a very minimal escalations of any type of broker issues within 48 hours, which is unheard of. I mean, that's an incredible kind of response rate for servicing, and it also shows that the volume was very low because having the volume of enrollment that we got, and then also being able to return our service responses within 48 hours is pretty incredible. The other thing I would say is that having the PDP as part of the product portfolio, kind of tying back to the prior question, is really important. And our PDP is offered literally across the nation. So we're in every zip code in the U.S. So there's a PDP solution there's 3 PDP solutions really for all of your clients, all your agent clients, in terms of what they're looking for in terms of their pharmacy coverage.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's super, super great. And, we were very excited about it. And I know a lot of other agents were too, so I think it's just a win-win all around. I wanted to just kind of pivot a little bit into privacy and data. I know there's been a lot of news and kind of just circulation of kind of conversation about privacy and data. How does Cigna Healthcare ensure that their consumer privacy data is protected when creating personalized products? What does that process look like?
Sure. So let me just first say that we take privacy very seriously. So it is part of our DNA. It's an expectation in terms of the way that we lead and manage as an organization. We also, for all of you, meaning agency and agent partners too, we have agreements, processes, and things that are in place that we expect of you around privacy too, because we're dealing with, very sensitive information as we're working with clients, and we want to ensure that we protect that because it's really important that we do so. There's several things that we do internally to ensure that happens. So one is that, from a data set perspective, we have all sorts of, as you can imagine, resources are in place. In fact, Christian, I'm going to be completely transparent to us trying to start this interview, which is just getting into the Zoom. I had some audio issues, partly because of some of the security features on my laptop from Cigna to ensure that I'm doing the things I'm supposed to be doing and not releasing information outside of things.
Yeah.
But we have these controls in place really for the protection of the client and the customer, and it also includes attestation and testing every single year by every single person within Cigna that's operating under the government programs in particular, that they have to actually go through. And then externally, as I mentioned, it's not just our agency and agent partners that are through agreements, processes that are in place to ensure, compliance around privacy. It's also any vendors. As you might imagine, there's a lot of our business that requires third-party vendors. I referenced fitness just a moment ago. Well, that's something that we contract with a third-party vendor for to be able to offer fitness as part of our product. And the expectations of our vendors are very high as well in terms of privacy as well as the oversight. So we do oversight on a routine basis that's always looking for, if there's any potential gaps or areas that need to be improved, or also ensuring that we have the right level of privacy that's for our customers.
Yeah, so important. It's just so important. Gary, what do you think we can expect to see in 2025? I know there's probably a lot of people feel like there's probably a lot of uncertainty. I've been telling people personally, like, this might be the craziest open season we've had in a long time, right? Because that's coming up. And what do you feel like 2025 holds?
Well, I want to take a step back and be more macro from a market perspective, because I think that question is something where, for all of us that are in the business, while we want to know what's in it for us, meaning what's going to happen in my county with this provider, with this product, the real answer is we need to take a step back and understand what's happening from a macro lens perspective. One is that the adoption rate to Medicare Advantage has not slowed. So as I mentioned, we're at 51%. We're going to continue to grow. And as the senior population and the eligibility around Medicare grows, so is the Medicare Advantage population. The PDP population will continue to grow, and so will MedSup. So the easy prediction is that we have growth ahead of us. And that's exciting for all of us because in one way or another, particularly in a portfolio environment where you have all those levers to pull, there is plenty to go around and a lot of business that we can all continue to help in terms of navigating seniors through healthcare and also make a living in terms of what we're doing as a business. The other thing I would say is that this kind of gets back to even the final rule. There isn't a year that goes by that the program doesn't have some form of evolution. And an evolution, let's take a look at what's been working, what hasn't, what can we improve on, and then make changes to actually make it better. And that's for a long-term kind of view. Well, that also means that we're going to have changes year over year. And I think for this upcoming year, we have changes that are going to impact the Medicare Advantage program as well as the prescription drug plans. So we can anticipate that a lot of clients are going to be shopping. So if I have any advice for, as an agency and also your agent downline partners, is, this is a year that you really need to spend time with your clients, ensure that you're retaining them as a customer and as a client, ensure that they've got the right solution that is for them for the upcoming year. The other is that from a growth perspective, know that there's going to be disruption. We've seen public announcements from various healthcare organizations that have indicated that they're going to have changes for 2025 that will potentially leave people without their current solution or changes in what their solution is today to where they have to make a choice. There's definitely going to be shopping. So not only do you need to kind of defend your current client position for retention and ensure that you've got solutions for them for 25, but you're also going to be doing some new business, which is in an environment where I believe that the Medicare beneficiaries are going to be shopping at a high level for this year going into the 25 selection period.
Yeah, makes total sense. Gary, thank you for your time. Thank you for doing this. This was fun. I enjoyed it.
I had a good time too, Christian. Thank you. I appreciate you inviting me and including me in this as well.
Absolutely. We'll have to do it again soon. And I'm imagining how crazy things could potentially look 6 months from now, and we'll have a lot of new stuff to probably discuss. Gary, if I don't know if this makes any sense, but where is the best place for people to connect with you, or is there a certain place in particular or a department with Cigna that people should reach out to if they wanted to kind of get more information on any of this stuff?
Well, it's a great question. So first I'd start with, we really appreciate partnership with CBIS. And I would say if you're listening to this and you're not currently, part of CBIS, that one of the ways to connect with Cigna is to ensure that you connect with CBIS, because that gives you the opportunity to be part of, a broader organization, have a peer platform where you can work with other agents that are in a similar type of business, and also, gain from things like this that CBIS is actually leading. So that'd be the first one. The second one is that we have, local broker service reps that are actually in each market. So depending on where you are, you could actually engage with one of our local BSRs that could actually help navigate you with Cigna and help get you contracted if you're not already, or help service you in the way of helping you in terms of the portfolio sale. If you're looking for a broader portfolio, maybe you're focusing today on Medicare Advantage, or you're focusing on Medicare Supplement, you're looking to expand your portfolio and you want some help on how to do that, they can help you with that. We have tools and resources for agents that are in the way of webinars, face-to-face trainings. We also have a lot of self-service tools and resources too that help you in terms of building your business. So our view is really looking at it from an agent lens of what do you need and how can we help you, and really in the way that you want it. So if it's virtual, great, we've got it. If it's self-serve, we've got it. If you want to do face-to-face, we've got it. So really it's up to you in terms of how you'd like to work with us.
Love it. Love it. Thank you so much for your time again. This was great. And yeah, guys, if you're watching this and Cigna is not part of your portfolio going into this open enrollment, highly suggest that you change that and add their various different product lines into kind of what you're doing. We can help with that. Or if you're already working with another FMO, of course, I'm sure they can help with that as well. Appreciate you guys watching all the way to the end. If you enjoyed this video, please drop your thoughts and your comments down below. We'd love to interact with you. If you also enjoyed it, please smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. It's going to help more agents like you who need to find this information desperately find it easier. Make sure to subscribe, put out weekly videos to kind of help you grow your business. And without further ado, we'll be back next time with someone else doing big time things in the industry. Thanks, everybody.